Hey Taj, it's been a wee while since I last talked to you. Tell us a little bit, fill us in on what you've been up to.
So I think last time we spoke was before my qualifiers in Thailand. I think that was it, yeah. So I went over to Thailand, competed on the world stage again. My last qualifiers for the Olympics. In my first fight, I came up against France, and he was one of the favourites going into that tournament. And he was sort of like my doppelganger. You know, I feel like he was someone that was just real similar to style to me, and he was another southpaw, someone just as tall as me, because I think I'm one of the tallest in the division. So to come up against someone that was at the same height and same reach was a little bit strange and took a bit of adjusting, but it was a real close fight. I thought there were a couple of moments I maybe could have stepped on the gas a bit more to sort of seal it for myself, but ended up losing a split decision and came up short. But nonetheless, it was a great experience and took a lot away from it. And then now that that's all done and dusted, we sort of come back, took a bit of time to reflect on this year, and now we're looking at turning to the pros. So just trying to get on a pro show at the moment. There's a Duco card in September, which I've been trying to get on, but we're just on the waiting list at the moment. So still training as if we're on it, but just waiting for that confirmation.
How important was all those trips that you did, and to prepare you for a pro?
I think it's pretty vital. I think it's pretty vital because those trips, you just gain so much, and you get to see how the fighters around the world are all competing as well. And you get a feel for what they all bring. Even just for my own confidence, I feel like being in the mix with those guys and knowing that I can compete with those guys at that level, that really did a lot for me. So that was really good. And also as a professional, when I do start traveling internationally and fighting around the world, it'll be nothing new to me. I've done it before. So I feel like it's real important to try and get as much international experience and just trips in general. I think it's real important. So yeah, it's been amazing.
What are you looking forward to as you change from amateur to professional, and the points don't matter too much? Have you got to train yourself a little bit different for that?
I think, there's definitely a few little adjustments and tweaks you have to make, but I've always been a pretty big believer that I'd suit the pros a lot more, just because I can take my time, I can set up a lot of my stuff a lot more. With the amateurs, because you've only got 3-minute rounds, you've got a small window, and if you lose that first round, automatically you're playing catch up for round 2 and 3. You have to win those rounds. So when I jump into the pros, when I've got 4, 6, 8 rounds to work, I feel like I'm going to suit that a lot better, being able to actually pick my shots and just fight the way I want to fight, And also with the smaller gloves, these guys aren't going to be able to just walk through my punches anymore, So I'm really excited for what the pros have to bring, yeah.
And what ideally would you like to see happen for the rest of the year?
Ideally, I'd love to get 2 more pro fights, or my first 2 pro fights, just to get my name out there and just get that career started. And then I still want to stay on the amateur circuit a little bit, still have ambitions of going to the Commonwealth Games in 2026. Still want to go to a couple more international tournaments, get some more experience, because once you turn professional, that's sort of it. You don't want to be losing fights or taking anything too risky. So I want to have some hard fights in the amateurs while I'm still building up my pro career. So yeah, ideally 2 pro fights and maybe 1 or 2 amateur tournaments. That's my goal.
What's the limit? How many pro fights are you allowed to have before you're not allowed to drop back?
I think it's 10. I think you can have 10. So between now and 26, I think 10's a good amount of fights. That also gives me a lot of time in between the fights as well to kind of prepare properly and still keep finding my style. I feel like the pros is one of those games where you do have to make a few adjustments, and because I haven't done it before, it might take a little bit of time, it might not, we don't know that, but yeah, we'll just have to go in there and see. Yeah.
When we first started talking to you, you were new to New Zealand, and you were, everything was new. You settled in, but what I've noticed is coming in, the boxing side of CKB is just grown exponentially.
Yeah, big time. I feel like everyone's just taken a big leap in the past year. Everyone's just been real active with fights. Everyone's turning up to training. Even just the intensity with how everyone's training, And I think it's been really good that me and Roman, and I think a couple of the others have been on these international trips. We've been able to kind of go and see how the rest of these countries operate, and then we can bring that back here and kind of pass that on. So now the training environment's been amazing. Everyone's pushing each other, everyone's doing the right thing. So I'm really happy with how it's all going. Yeah.
Great, mate. I can't wait till you get this pro fight and we can follow your career on that side of it.
No, it's exciting. Appreciate you, Tony. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, mate.
Thank you.
You're a bloody pleasure to talk to.
Nah, I love to, honestly.